Hey, beautiful people, welcome to another episode of The GYST. Because when it comes to life, love, and the pursuit of happiness, sometimes you just need a moment to get your shit together. And so do we. And tonight, we're going to try to do just that. I'm your host, Kay Bellamy, and my co-hosts, Valerie Cannon and Stephanie Hamilton. We got a conversation. We got to talk about it. We got to, deal with it. We got to put our truth out there because, why is it we don't, as Blacks, buy from Black businesses? So, as always, I'm reading something and it kind of began to lay out and map out why we don't buy from Black businesses. So I had to think about myself. I'm thinking, when I want something, when I want to buy something, am I actually thinking, where's the nearest Black business that may sell this? And the answer would be no. I'm not thinking that. But then I say to myself, why are you not thinking that? Well, I have some reasons. But before we get into my reasons, okay, but I will say this. My experiences that I've had with going to Black businesses, one is that it's always overpriced. Always overpriced. And, and I know that, so I read some information that says when Black businesses go to get loans, their interest rate is higher than their counterparts. So, they have to charge more. But I'm thinking when people are budgeting their money to buy what they need to buy, they're looking for the cheaper product as well. They're looking to spend less, not more. So I struggle with that sometimes in the Black businesses that I have gone into. And not only that, lack of inventory. You walk into a business and if 50% of your shelves are not full, then you maybe not been ready to open that business. Might not be the time just yet. So, I have multiple reasons why I do not do it, but it did trigger something that says, why don't we buy from Black businesses? Why are we not thinking in those terms?
So I would say I've got a couple of reasons as well. And I won't even necessarily say they're specific to me, but I certainly tried to think about, okay, why don't I? First of all, when it comes to Black businesses, it's like a search and rescue or a game of hide and seek. Because the truth is, you got to look for them a lot of times when it comes to looking for something simple. And when let's say you're looking for something you need done, some service, some product, and you Google that, well, the Black businesses aren't the ones that come at the top. And we also know that you have to pay for your positioning when it comes to where people find you. So if the first 10 listings are something else, I'm just looking to get the bathroom fixed. Or looking for whatever. I'm not necessarily thinking, let me find a Black business. But I will say I did have an occasion once where, and I won't, name the business or anything like that, but several years ago, I was looking to get some pictures professionally framed, some prints that I purchased. And I happened to mention it to a friend of mine who said, hey, I know a Black business does professional framing. Give them a call. I was like, all right, cool. I didn't have a problem with that. So I called them twice and emailed. A month later, I never got a response. So then after that, I went to the white business. They answered the phone and told me, bring my prints on over. And I might have even been okay if maybe you called me a month or two. Like I've never gotten a call. And this had to be 6 years ago. Like so, from a customer service standpoint, and I understand, like we talked about Black business, like struggling and trying to, be equal with your counterparts. But first of all, there's got to be a level of customer service. So if I'm trying to reach you and I literally never get a call back about some work I'm trying to give you, then guess what? I'm not looking for you next time. So, those are some of my reasons why I don't make a real effort. I would like Black businesses to be more prevalent, that I don't have to, like I said, go on a search and rescue mission to find one.
But, and let me just interject, and Stephanie, you can jump in. I just want to say this one thing. However, there are moments where we are absolutely positively seeking out a Black business. Hair is one.
Mm-hmm.
We are not going to, you know, the what do they call that shot? I forget what they call it.
Cuts for you.
Super cuts
or whatever it is.
Right. We're not going to super cuts.
They don't know what to do with this.
No, they don't. They don't. They can't give me my curl.
So,
they can't do it.
So we pick and choose in that sense because we are not going to super cuts. So we will seek out a Black stylist.
But to that point, if Supercuts was in there giving some amazing haircuts on Black men and women, I assure you we'd be in there getting it done.
Probably true.
Right.
Probably true. But why don't we think about that when it comes to, so if I want to go shopping, you know, clothing wise, why am I not thinking, all right, I need to find a Black clothing store, a Black owned clothing store? Why are we not thinking that?
Well, I think a couple things. Like one, first, I think is convenience. You know, while we say, oh, I would love to shop Black businesses or women businesses, a lot of it is convenience. I don't have a whole lot of time. All right. I got a limited amount of time and a budget. I've got to find a business that fits in my time and my budget. Right. Secondly, I love Black businesses. I love to support them, but we have to up our game in terms of being professional. When you say your store is going to open at 9 o'clock, it needs to be open at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Someone needs to be answering the phone and answering it professionally and returning phone calls and not giving some off the cuff. I don't know. You need to be professional in our businesses. I have a friend who's getting some work done by a guy giving, you know, throwing some money to Black businesses. It was supposed to be, he told her it's going to take a week. You know what we're up to now? A month. Getting this work done. But I do have a good story about Black. Can I plug a Black business?
Come on, bring it.
If it's a good story, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a woman who I don't even know her personally, but I saw her online once, and then I was at an event down at the Man, and I saw her. She had like a cart selling her product. Her name is Lynette Smith. Her business is called Nuts About Popcorn. She's located in Hatboro, and she's opening a second store, I want to say in Abington. When the store is on point, when I showed up, like I was at the event, her product was on point. They had what they had. She was personable. It was such a refreshing experience. So if you want some popcorn, some specialty popcorn, Lynette Smith, Nuts About You in Hatboro, and a second store opening soon somewhere in Abington. She's doing it right.
And listen, I agree with that.
That's
because
great.
When you think about those businesses those Black-owned businesses that do have that customer service, and customer service is key, because one of the things you said is we're looking for convenience. I don't think I'm gonna go out of my way when it's right here in front of me. And then if I do go out of my way, I'm gonna need you to pick up the phone. I'm gonna need you to answer the phone. I'm gonna need you to respond. If I leave a message, I'm gonna need a call back. If I get the product, I'm gonna need the product to be delivered on time. I'm gonna need those conveniences. And I tell you, you know, in the name of naming businesses that really do customer service really well is Melissa Ayers. She owns Nothing But Cakes in Collegeville. And listen, amazing. I don't even eat bundt cakes, but I will go there because her customer service is top notch.
Right.
And I mean, she runs a tight ship. When you walk in her store, everybody that works for her engages with you. They say hello, good morning. They ask you about your day. Your stuff is ready. When you order it, you get there, you pick it up. It is amazing.
Right.
However, I do not know where others fall short in that area of providing customer service when they decide, I want to open a business.
Right.
Well, that's exactly it. And when you talk about customer service, because the truth is, even though we do really want convenience, you'll almost sacrifice a little convenience for good customer service.
Absolutely.
You absolutely will. When somebody gives you good customer service, you're traveling to get to them because the person around the corner is not doing that. And customer service in general just seems like it, it's like hard to find nowadays anyway, especially with everything going electronic, everything's online. If you need to try to talk to somebody, you can't talk to anybody. But yeah, so, it's leaving those businesses and Black owned businesses that hadn't mastered the customer service in the first place are definitely struggling to do it now.
How much lack of trust? So, in the article that I shared with you all, they gave an example about the iPod that was being sold online, and one was sold by a white person and the other one sold by a Black person. And the response of buying that iPod from the Black person was like 17% lower. Same exact product, same
Did
exact
they put their
thing,
faces up? Is that what happened?
but
They wrote who the seller was?
their hands were there. So their hands was holding up the product. And it was the same, and it was a test they did. And it was the same exact product, but one had a white hand and the other one had a Black hand. And the response of purchasing it was 17% lower from the Black.
Well, then that means it wasn't only Black respondents. It was probably Black respondents, white respondents, Asian respondents. So there was a lack of trust across the board.
Right.
Why do we think that is? I mean, does the world not see us as real business people, or do they not see us as serious business owners? Do they not trust that they will get what we say they will get?
Well, I would say my answer to that would have to be yes, because I mean, just looking at, the whole struggle we've been going through with Black Lives Matter and all of that. I mean, if we haven't made it there, you're really not trusting us to run a business and sell you anything either. You're not.
Right.
It's true. I think it's part of the conversation that we're having right now. Why is it that, when you get a contractor to come out, okay, second experience, call a contractor to come out, Black owned business, can't come, doesn't call back, doesn't show up when he's supposed to. Same guy that you're trying to give money to. Like, I'm trying to give you money. If you say you're going to be here at 10 o'clock and I don't hear from you till 11, that's a problem. That is a problem. And it also doesn't help that we've got the whole, people, it happens a couple times. Folks remember it forever. The whole Nigerian prince thing. I'm selling you something. Just send me $100. Like, some people think every Black business is connected to some.
It's a Nigerian
scam somewhere.
Right.
And we know that's not true.
But at the same time, I'm thinking, for those people, we don't learn how to do business. So we think that if I create a website, I now got a business. Yeah, no, you don't.
That's not enough. Right. That's not enough.
You do not have a business until you have customers. And when you get those customers, now you have to learn how to retain those customers.
Keep them.
So we don't know how to do business. And I think a big part of the difference and the separation is knowledge. How do you actually run a business? And we think if we get, and I'm not mad at this, we got Ray, we got Lil Ray, we got, Raheem, and we got Rashida, the regular Black names that people put out there, and we all together trying to run a business. What do we know about actually running a business? And 9 times out of 10, what statistics show is that Black businesses don't show a record of being actual businesses on record. So getting a license, getting yourself incorporated or LLCs, understanding paying taxes on that business. We on the down low hustle. We like, listen, I got this thing right here. I'm selling these t-shirts. Pay me for the t-shirts. And you're not paying Uncle Sam, or you don't know what it means to run a business and actually pay for that business and even understand the benefits of paying taxes. Like, you reap benefits as a result of that. But we're not thinking about that because we don't know.
But even with that, I will say that is true. However, growing up, and I know this, we had a whole a culture that existed where you had a carpenter, you had a guy who did carpentry, you had a guy who did plumbing, you had a guy who was a mechanic. I don't ever recall hearing about these people having licenses and LLCs and insurance, but they were reliable. You know, you took your car down the street to Mr. Sam, he fixed your car and it came back right. You know, there's been a disconnect there. You take it down to Raheem. I don't know when I'm gonna get it back. I don't know. I couldn't figure that. I don't have that machine.
No. You go back to pick up your car. They're like, what car?
Oh, JoJo got that. He took it around the corner to make sure it worked 5 hours ago.
Right.
There has to be.
There has to, you have to change with the times. I mean, you're absolutely right. Like back in the day, like you said, you didn't really hear about people. You didn't have an LLC or whatever. It was just like, this is where you took it and you got it done. But as times have changed and people have looked for more reliability and something on paper that says you are licensed to do what I'm hiring you to do, because if it's not right, I need to have some recourse. As those times have changed, those Black businesses have to change too. You can't keep doing it the same way that they were doing it 30, 40 years ago. You got to do it the way it needs to be done now.
And I can tell you the church is living proof of that, because before you didn't require the pastor to have no degree in ministry or no theological degree. None of that was even required. If you love the Lord and you said, I want to preach, you started preaching and you got a congregation together and you had church.
Right.
Now they are requiring pastors to have a certain amount of education, a certain amount of degree, a level of degree. And listen, you're right, Val. We require, like, as time changes, we demand it. We demand it. And I think that's a lot of why we don't go to Black businesses, because we demand now certain things and they are not meeting those standards. They're not meeting those standards of what we are demanding.
Here's the other thing. We're also in the age of online shopping. We're in the age of Amazon. So if you have a special product, you have a wonderful lotion that I like at your store. If I go there, every time I go, you don't have the supply. You only have one size. You don't have the jar. Listen, I can go on Amazon and get that ordered much easier, and they will auto ship it to me whatever I, if we are, and it's not just Black businesses suffering. All businesses are suffering as a result of this online shopping thing. To your point, we have to keep up. There's a new demand and a new way of doing it. I was about
to say, because let me tell you something, even with the online businesses, which is even more opportunity for you to get in business, but again, if you don't know how to do a business, I don't care whether it's in person or online, you will not get your business up and running, because online is even harder, because I'm not really driving by. You know what I mean? I don't drive that same way to work every day and I see your storefront and I see it. Now, people are online, like you say. If you think of something, you automatically think Amazon. Automatically think Amazon. And do you think to yourself, gosh, if I had just thought about Amazon, if I thought about that idea to even do shipping at that level, and they aren't even Amazon products, they're everybody else's products.
They're everybody else's products.
All Amazon is the vehicle that they use to get it to the people.
But I've tried looking at some of those sites, like trying to go to Black-owned sites for things I wanted, like particularly African items, Afrocentric items, different household things. Look, the shipping and handling is through the roof. You got to wait 5 weeks for her to make it or him to make it. I just want a runner for my table. Like,
I got to wait for her to hand sew it. Christmas and Thanksgiving done came and went. You still hand sew it.
You got that
you gotta order it. You gotta order it around Memorial Day if you want to do a Christmas present. You gotta order Memorial Day.
And you gotta pay $25 to get it shipped to your house.
And then when you get it,
you know it ain't
short. It ain't the right size.
You know it's not gonna be right.
It's the wrong color.
It's the wrong color.
Well, now it's next Thanksgiving before you get the replacement. It's next Thanksgiving.
Now they done made you lose your religion over that table. You done cussed everybody in the house. The dog.
And you saying to yourself, damn, I should have went white.
I should have went to Amazon.
Amazon, right.
Again, I should have went white. What in the world? So, I mean, but listen, here's the interesting thing. So as times are changing, speaking of that, a lot of people, because as stats say that a lot of the jobs we know today will go away. They won't even exist by 2030. They will not even exist. But a new line of jobs and opportunities, and a lot of them on an entrepreneur tip, will come forth that we don't even know about yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking how much, of a role will we play even in future, even from a digital perspective of starting Black businesses? How do we even know what's out there and available to us? Because we're not looking for, I can honestly say, I don't necessarily go, when I go to look for anything, I'm not saying, oh my God, I'm going to find a Black business.
Right.
I'm going to find a Black business who does this particular thing. And I don't know how we change the dynamic of that, because I don't think we ever will. Because of what we want, which is convenience, I don't think we will be at that level to provide what Amazon can provide.
Well, I don't know that I think all the onus is on us, the consumer. I think some of that onus is on the Black people, Black businesses, the businesses, whether you're existing or starting a business. Some of that responsibility is on you. If you want to compete, because the point is you want to get customers and you want to be able to attract people the same way an Amazon or a Walmart or whatever attracts people, then you've got to step up your game with how you set up your business, whether it's your customer service or convenience or whatever. I'm saying it's not just on me. Don't make it just my responsibility. Like I should be going online looking for Black businesses. Black business should be seeking me out. Like, what are you doing to attract me?
Right.
I agree.
What are you doing?
You got to spend that money.
Right.
You know what? You got to spend some money on marketing. You're going to have to do digital marketing. You may have to show up at events, and be a face behind your product, whatever it is.
Right.
And you got to, work it.
Listen, and you said it. You have to work it. And I don't mean work it in a lightweight kind of way.
No.
You got to work that thing in a major way, especially to compete on a digital platform. Because if you have any idea what you're up against on a digital platform, that thing is real. Again, and we lack getting the knowledge we need to get prepared before the doors even open, digitally or storefront.
Right.
We lack the knowledge that we need, or the things we need to know before even opening the doors, because the marketing piece is huge and it's the most expensive. Yeah. It's the most expensive. So actually having a budget for that, because guess what? Most businesses start, unless you have money to put that marketing out there at some high level. You know where Black people start businesses? Family and friends. Yeah. They calling you saying, can you buy it? They calling you saying, can you buy it? Listen, people come to me even right now and they're like, hey, can you sell popcorn for our charity? I can't. I can't. I cannot. I cannot do it. I mean, listen, and I like popcorn. Don't want to sell it. But I like popcorn.
You probably won't buy enough to sustain someone's business. So you're going to need to market more than just me.
Yeah. And that's the problem, because we think that is our only place, and because nobody really understands the game of marketing. A lot of people don't understand the game of marketing. They think, oh, I could just post it on social media and let people know that I'm selling this. Honey, it's bigger than that. Because guess what? There's 1,000 more people selling the same shit you're selling. And what makes you different? It damn sure is not your customer service. So what makes you different? I mean, really? Because you're Black? I mean, like, I get it. And you want, we have that one day where you buy Black. And I never understood that. You
Right.
have this,
Just
you have
just
this
for one day.
just one day where you buy black, and so the rest of the days, what you buying? Hispanic, white, Asian? I'm not sure. But we have to do better with educating ourselves when it comes to starting these businesses. And the other piece is you cannot do it by yourself. You cannot do it by yourself because, like Stephanie said, I order it and now I got to wait for you to make it. I got to wait for you, I got to wait 8 weeks or 16 weeks because you in your kitchen trying to sew it up and get it done. And I'm not mad at you, but
Right.
I'm gonna need you to wait until you sewed it. And when I order it, you can just ship it. So
Right. Like maybe there's a way you can make a few of them generic and just do the specific thing I asked. Like, don't have to make it from scratch. And the other thing when we talk about black businesses, when you really want to be on an even playing field with white businesses, you also have to recognize that our dollars aren't the only ones you need.
Right.
You don't just need black dollars.
Right.
You need white dollars too.
Yep.
That's right.
You do. Absolutely.
You need everybody's dollars.
Absolutely. And that's to sustain, but that comes down to understanding business.
Right.
There's no such thing as just buy black. Like, what in the world? You're right. You need everybody's dollars, not just from black people. You need everybody's dollars to sustain a business. And the other thing is, again, I go back to the lack of knowledge. You have to, when you start a business, you have to meet a need.
Yes.
You have to meet a need. I get it. Your cool t-shirt got the, funky logo on it, and that's great and that's cool. But does it meet a need? Because if you don't meet a need first, then all you're doing is just hustling backwards. You're hustling backwards. Right. So it's understanding what consumers want and, more importantly, what they need. And then figure out what they need and give it to them. Sell it to them. Because that's how you do real business. Jeff Bezos knew that people wanted convenience. They knew that Walmart knew it. That's why big box stores exist now, because they knew people wanted convenience.
That's right.
Who'd have thought 20 years ago you'd be able to walk into a store and find everything you wanted in that one store?
Right. From makeup to meat in one store.
Exactly. From makeup to meat in one store. That's exactly right. And so if we start to think on those lines, what is the next thing to meet the next need?
Right.
Because we got Amazon, they got that thing on lock.
Right.
They got it on lock. What's the next need? What do you have? You're going to sell me t-shirts. You're going to sell me jewelry. I can go in Target and get jewelry. I can go in,
And the truth is, it doesn't mean that you can't look at even if you decide you want to be a business that does niche marketing, but now you got to create a demand for your niche.
Exactly.
You still got to create a demand for that. So there are large department clothing stores, but you also got small boutiques. Absolutely. And those boutiques stay in business because they've created a market for what they sell, and they have a clientele who will come there and get it. And you've got to create a market for that. And that's, like you said, Kay, it goes back to the marketing. Whatever it is you decide you want to do, it can't just be, I got better t-shirts than Walmart. No, you don't. It's a t-shirt.
And you know what? Whatever you do, and this is a big thing for me, be consistent.
Yes.
Open at the same time every day. Stop running out of, whatever your product is. Every day somebody go in, we out of that. Well, when are you in with it? When exactly do
I'm going to tell you what you can't
Let
be.
Me know when you do have it. And
you can't be a soul food restaurant running out of collard greens in the middle of the day.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. And listen to me. Not only that, let's talk about the black-owned restaurants for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5
We
minutes.
need a whole show. We need a whole show.
So I'm walking in, your hole in the wall. I ain't mad at you, but that's what you could get, right? Ain't no air in there. Everybody in there sweating. Everybody sweating. Black people don't give a damn. They'll tell you take your ass outside if you hot. But not only that, they will charge you the same prices that if you walked into fine dining for some of them, that if you walked into a beautiful restaurant that is air conditioned, have a great bar, have great seating, all of this stuff, and will charge
And you
you
don't have JoJo sweating in your collard greens.
you can't even see you back there cooking. Like, really? And then when you show up and you like, you know what, I'd like some chicken and collard green. Joe, we got collard greens today? No, we ain't got them.
You
You're
can't.
like, wow, how come you didn't know you didn't have collard
And wait a minute,
greens
and then give you an attitude. No, we ain't got that.
And listen, that's a real thing, because where I live in Middletown, Delaware, when we first moved here, there was this little soul food restaurant, and I lie to you not, it would be 5 hours before they closed, and they would be out of collard greens, out of yam. Like, how are you out of that? How are you out of that?
We can give you 2 servings of rice. I don't want 2 servings of rice.
I didn't come to the soul food restaurant for rice and beans. I came to the soul food restaurant for soul food. And how are you always out of it? And listen, and I only bring it up because they're out of business years ago. You know why? Because they were always out of collard greens.
And here's the thing, though. If you know people love your collard greens, make extra. It's not hard to figure out.
It's a soul food restaurant. If I walk in, guess what I want?
Soul
collard greens.
Cordon bleu. Have some collard greens and macaroni and cheese.
But again, goes back to marketing, because even if you're out of it, that person who handles your marketing, one, should be online, and you should see that when you go to order it.
Yes.
You understand? When you
we ain't gonna talk about the online presence.
See it. Hold on.
About the website.
Or when you walk in the store, right? That should be crossed off the menu, or
right. Don't have me walking up excited about collard greens and you don't have any.
Exactly. That is the issue.
We don't have that. Well, I'll take some string beans. We don't have that. We got okra.
And you know why you got okra? Because nobody wants that.
Listen, I'm telling you, but I have issue with paying, $30, $25 for fried chicken and mac and cheese and greens anyway. Like, that's just my issue alone.
Well, yes.
Because we learned how to naturally cook that. Right. And if we don't, we got somebody in the family that can rock that thing
exactly
to the end.
Exactly.
But, it's just how we do business. It's how we do business. And then when they do give it to you, it's 75 freaking pounds of chicken, macaroni, and cheese, and potato salad. And you walking out of there like, oh my God, I'm going to die tonight.
Cornbread be that thick.
You're like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Maybe if you serve some smaller portions at 10 o'clock, you'll still have
great, right?
But because you serving everybody their own pot of greens, you run out quicker. I'm just saying. Like, what in the world? Listen, we got to do better.
We do. We do.
We really have
we
to
also start putting the greens into a cup with a lid, so everything else in the plate isn't covered in green juice. Just the little cups with the lids. So my chicken isn't.
Okay, so
I gotta dab it off.
This is why I'm not, and it's bad because listen, and I just want us to fix something else other than soul food.
I know.
Like, we don't know how to cook anything else. I mean, you're a Black-owned business. All we know is soul food. That's it.
Right. No, I mean, I get that. I'm just saying, if you are going to be a soul food restaurant, don't run out of collard greens. But yes, you might, we can certainly find some folk that can make another cuisine. But you know what? When you talk about what would you buy from a Black person, would you be okay with going into a Chinese food restaurant and it's nothing but Black people working there making the Chinese food?
No.
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 So what you want them to cook?
No. No.
Exactly. So what do you want?
But I'm trying to say, I guess I'm trying to say, it's like, so Chinese food comes from Chinese people, makes sense, right? Italian food come from Italian people, makes sense. Is fried chicken, like black?
Well, we did perfect it.
It was,
least
but
in the
now
Southern style.
everybody feels like they can make fried chicken. But I'm saying my point is, just like I said, would you be okay with maybe the reason why you've got for black folk who are interested in opening restaurants, they lean towards black cuisine, what they consider black cuisine, because you wouldn't come to buy Chinese food from a black restaurant.
But there's a whole thing of just American.
I think I would.
But that is my
American type
point.
food.
That is my point. Like, if you're opening a restaurant and you're like, again, even today, opening a soul food restaurant, just educate yourself
Yes.
in what you're serving. Because the very thing that you're serving, that you're claiming as our own, as a black race, our own, is the very thing that's killing us too. So it's like, listen.
Well, in that serving size, yeah.
Yes, I get it. But I'm saying, do a little more. Do something different. Be different. And that's what I'm saying about the difference between today. You've got to fulfill a need, because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Times are changing. And
Yep.
people don't want all of that food on their plate anymore in any restaurant.
Right.
They
Right.
don't want
Right.
it. So find out how to do that restaurant differently. That soul food restaurant, try to do it differently.
Right.
And you can. And you
And you
absolutely
can.
can. Yeah, you can.
Because now you can fulfill a need. And even for the changing times as far as health is concerned, where we thought black folks did not care, today they do.
They do.
They do care.
Mhm.
They do care about their health.
Yeah, black vegans. That's
my
a big
God.
thing. Black
This is what I'm
vegetarians. So
Do something different to fulfill a need that has not been filled, because we keep tapping into the same exact thing.
Right.
The same exact thing.
Sure.
So when it comes to opening a business or starting a business, we have got to open our minds a little bit more. And that's why they have things like think tanks and bringing people to the table and saying, listen, I'm thinking about doing a business. What do you think about this idea? And have other people chime in, because you'll get different perspectives from different areas of people's lives, and you will think differently about the next business you open, and it won't be the same old thing, which will make you frustrated and give up if you do not see your business, becoming profitable.
Mm-hmm.
So I think knowledge and education about how to do a business is really important. I don't care whether it's a restaurant, clothing, you're selling t-shirts, making sneakers, whatever the case is, jewelry, whatever it is, we have got to do better. One, like Val said, you got to come look for me. Let me know you're here with product. But again, you got to bring the customer service. You have to bring the marketing with it. You have to bring the great attitude, because we can get attitude quick, right? So we have to bring all of that stuff. But this is a real dilemma for Black people buying from Black businesses. It's a true dilemma.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us do not. We don't even think about it when we go to buy. We don't even think about it, except on Buy Black Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever day they gave us. Saturday.
Is it in February? When is that?
No, it's not even in February. So Renee was saying there's a Black-owned Chinese restaurant in North Philly, and it's really good. It's owned by Muslims.
okay.
Okay, Black-owned Chinese restaurant.
Do they do a fish fried rice? Ask Renee. Do they do fish fried rice?
So Renee, Stephanie want to know if they do fish fried rice. Okay. She said this is a new business. It hasn't been open for a year yet.
Okay.
I see the place staying around for a long time. So again, you're filling a need that was never there before. Like you just said, you walk in now, they whipping up some Muslims can make some fish fried rice. You understand me?
Listen.
Listen. Been there. Okay. They can make some fish fried rice. So she said, absolutely. She didn't say that, but she added some other words in there. I won't say
Okay.
what she said, but absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
But anyway, find a need and fill the need, because soul food, God, it's got to be just passe. It's got to be passe. Really.
No, a lot of people are still.
I know they do.
On the regular.
I know they do. But even if you're doing that, I need you to put the lids on the greens. Okay. So you're not getting the greens juice on your food, and smaller portions. Because
Right.
you know how we cook. And we cook with a lot of sugar and a lot of salt. A lot of sugar and a lot of salt.
That salt thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ease up on the sodium, please.
Yeah. And, if you have a clothing line or you watch, there are examples of people doing this thing. There are examples of how they're doing it. And one thing that Val said is very valid. You don't just need black dollars. If you are a black business and you pigeonhole yourself into black dollars, you will not succeed. Because guess what? White folks do not pigeonhole themselves into white people. They want to sell it to everybody.
Right.
To everybody. Think along those lines. If you're thinking about starting your business, think along those lines of it needs to be something that can be available to everybody. You can do demographics, whether it's female or male or age difference, but color, no. You need to find something that works for anyone. So, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of The GYST. Thank you, Stephanie and Val. As always, you two rock for real. Join us here every Wednesday, every Monday. I'm saying every month. Every Monday, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Okay, where we talk about all sorts of things, and you are more than welcome to join the conversation right on Facebook. Post your comments. Let us know what you're thinking. If you have any questions, we'll be sure to get to those as well. Because when it comes to life, love, and the pursuit of happiness, sometimes you just need a moment to get your shit together. And that's what we're going to go do right now. So we'll see you next time. We might start a business. Who knows? Never know. Soul food. We will not have greens.
We will not run out of greens. We will not run out of greens.
Collard greens are us.
Have a good night, y'all. Bye.
Good night.